nice banquet room.
So then we would have her and be surrounded on all sides by anti-mages.
Yes.
And you think that's a better option than in a prison? Where she can't move
We're
around.
not going to fight her in there.
We might have to.
I don't think. Why would she fight us? Just
Because your
we're
deal
there?
might fail and she might know where we actually are there.
She
might have
might.
spied on us here. She might have known that we have talked to Therral and
But it is not very likely.
It isn't? He said that there's been sort of people poking around here.
I mean, I'm sure if she knows that we've been here, that doesn't really do anything. What we want here is pretty legitimate. We want him to help us by getting this thing for him, even though that means that he's really going out of his way to not really do something his organization would approve very heavily of, to further his own personal goals. I mean, this is business. He's a dragon of some eloquence. Not to say that she's not a cruel being, but
I've just never heard of any dragon giving up its plaything.
I haven't heard of that many dragons, to be honest. Hasn't really been in my line of work.
If it thinks it will gain a benefit from doing so, it most likely might be plausible, at least.
I mean, they're not. She didn't strike me last time as... She struck me as arrogant, but only to the point of reason. Some dragons, perhaps, would be too arrogant and just laugh in the face of everything, doing whatever the hell they wanted. But she would not have been doing so well in Drakkenhall if she had not known how to make a deal, how to trade, and how to be reasonable about things and gain allies and contacts.
I also don't like the idea of working for a dragon, but...
Well, I'm sorry if your pride comes before doing what's best.
It's not my pride that's the question.
Your honor, whatever you might call it. I know people can be stubborn, and that is something that comes naturally to us. But
it's more a question not aiding a dragon.
Try keeping an open mind as we work here.
We would, in the end, hurt her more than we would help her by acquiring the proper aid of the druid.
We might not, to be honest, but we will hurt the blue more than we will help the blue. And that is really the main thing, isn't it? Chuuk might be perfectly happy with the deal we strike. I imagine she will be. Otherwise, she wouldn't go into it. She wouldn't do it.
You don't know that you will.
No, I don't. But I'm willing to take that chance.
Assuming she doesn't eat us right there, then we always have the other option still available, although it might be slightly more difficult then.
What other option?
To try to break her out, of course.
We can't really do that in the main hall with all our guards surrounding us. And her as well.
Well, if we get into a conflict while trying to reason with her, then we have little choice but to see what we can do. However, if diplomacy fails and the deal does not get made, it does not mean that we will get slaughtered.
No. I am still extensively known as an enemy of the High Druid, and, well, I'm still a bit... It is very complicated, I suppose. This whole relationship.
And both me and Aurelia are known as an enemy of the free, but...
That's also true. That's why you will not be the ones directly talking to her. You'll be accompanying me.
And that's also a problem. We wouldn't just let you go in there alone, of course, but it might make our case. She might not believe us as much.
Last time I had a druid with me in there. You're no worse than that.
Maybe not.
And let's be honest here. Even those of the three that support the three only support it so far as it is in their best interest. I'm sure if Chuuk had the same kinds of problems with the Black Fang as we might have, she would be in the same kind of position.
It is worth considering that Chuuk is living in Drakkenhall and doing quite well for herself, which might indicate a favorable relationship to the city's governor. I do not know if it would be relevant to our immediate problem, however. It is unlikely that we could, in the most extreme case, convince Chuuk to go against the Free.
I doubt it. She very much liked the blue governance here. But whatever tasks you'll ask of us will be unlikely to be hurting the blue. It will likely be to deal with some other issue that she might think we would actually agree to, and that she would very much like to be dealt with. Maybe something that she doesn't want herself to be involved with. We are perfectly deniable assets as it happens. We have made much ruckus with many people in this city before.
That might also be helping the blue.
It might, but I doubt that Chuuk is so patriotic, to be honest, that she would just give off this for something that's not to her personal gain.
She is a dragon. She would likely play the long game, and the long game, a lot of things can be to her benefit.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like that our idea hinges on her saying yes to this, to our offer. And if she says no, we get no other plan.
If she says no, we'll leave and talk again.
No, it's not necessarily something you can just say we can do.
If we go in there without an invitation, we will end up fighting her and her people, because she will expect someone to come and try to save this druidess. It is what she's doing right now. It's what occupies her. And I'm sure she enjoys it, and she's been proven right multiple times by people whose heads she's been able to send back to Therral, laughing and probably having a great fun ripping them off.
She is expecting druids, though. She's not expecting us.
There's not that much of a difference in our power level.
No, but we have different fighting styles.
Perhaps, but I don't think this is an issue if can we beat her or not, because I don't think we can.
Not her directly, but her guards. She might not be there personally.
Then she can probably get there in the time it takes us to fight her guards.
On the other hand,
if we were to storm the Arcane College to free a captive there, even in its current diminished form, would we have a chance at doing that, do you think? There are magical defenses. There'd be 80 wizards of pretty strong level. And then, of course, there'd be Lord Geráck. We would say, well, we might not encounter him personally, but he would get there if someone stormed the Arcane College. That's his base. They're entrenched there.
Depends on how long it takes and how much noise we make. And also the Arcane College, I think it's smaller. A dragon must have a very large house.
She does have a large house, but we have no idea about the basement or anything.
What I'm saying is she might not hear us, though she probably will, or someone else will hear us.
There's a spell called Alarm that you can have produced by it's the most simple thing, really. It makes a lot of noise when someone makes into a room without being allowed to go there.
Right, never mind then.
And, well, she has wizard hunting wizards. They probably are able to stop even magical entry.
I have to note, having an alarm spell everywhere can be inconvenient when you have many, many, many guards.
You remember when we went in there, right? Surely she would have them on exits she doesn't usually use. Which is the ones you would want to go in through. Unless you want to go in through the main door, which... well, series of multiple doors and fortifications. She does have an opulent, rich manor in Blue City, a city where people who are rich and have manors generally are targets for a lot of nasty things.
What I dislike about this is the chance that if we go in there, we say she agrees to have some kind of meeting and then turns us down.
Mm-hmm.
If she decides to strike us, then we are surrounded on all sides. We cannot try and retreat.
That's true.
At least if we're going in at least on an assault, our back should be mostly clear because we just killed what's there.
Well,
Do you know where we could get down into the
I mean,
basement?
that's the same
Other
idea
than-
as if we went to talk to Dr. Raptus and he decided to just strike us down right there. He could.
We know
It's
Lord
not as likely, and you know that.
We know Lord Traptus is not likely to strike us down. However, touching this subject, which this dragon is known to be quite passionate about.
Talking to
I
Dr.
remember-
Raptus and this dragon is not the same thing.
No, but the principle is the same. We're no more
No.
enemies of Chuuk as of now than we are of Lord Raptus.
Traptus,
I would say Dr. Raptus is more of a friend than the dragon is.
Well, you have never met it, so what would you know?
walking into a stranger's manor and talking about freeing their captive, in comparison to walking into a college where you are allied with them. Well, most of us. Looks over.
Purchasing the captive is perhaps more apt. You could let me go alone if you wish. That might be suspicious, but
So you're saying you're gonna do this no matter what we think?
Dwohurim, you are not going in alone. Do you remember what happened with Thomas?
I'm still not entirely sure what happened in there, but he never talked much about it. I can only remember how horrible it was.
We are not allowing anything of that magnitude to happen again. No solo antics. Not in Blue City.
Glad you're coming with me, Leon.
Diplomatizing with a dragon.
We've done stupider things.
A dragon who we don't know if it's more likely just to take our head
So
off.
you're admitting
agree.
it's stupid then?
Well, it's all about perspective, right?
But it is stupid still.
We could either talk to her or we could poke her in the eye with a pitchfork.
Yeah, and that's...
It's an even worse idea.
just because something is stupid, that doesn't make it smart.
That's very true.
Thank you for the input.
So you would have us do none of the things and just go home. The smart thing here would be, Geráck, if we just felt good about what we did, took your sister and went home to the dwarven homelands to live out in peace, far from the Iron Sea and far from Blue City. But as it happens, we have come to Blue City. And for some of us, this is again, after everything that happened and after leaving here last time, we've come again to help someone. That is inherently a stupid decision. But, well, we're here. And we're doing stupid things. We're doing risky things that might get us killed. We're trying to limit the risk as much as we can.
Yes, we are. And
Yes.
right now we're discussing what is the least stupid thing to do in this situation.
Yes. I think we can all agree that it's doing diplomacy in this
No.
case.
We
Talking is
can't
usually
all
better.
agree on that because I'm arguing with you right now.
There is still, of course, the big issue of if she just decides to just kill us while surrounded on all sides. We were not escaping.
Well, we're damn well trying anyway. I mean, no matter what, we're going to have to go into the middle of this to a prepared base. I would rather go in without fighting our way in, if nothing else. We're going to have to fight our way out Like, even if we break in and get this girl, we're gonna have to fight our way out. Like,
I would first like to hear if we can get some more information out of this goblin, maybe.
sure, I'm
And
just
then-
saying we might have to make an appointment. You might not have time immediately.
She might not.
No, she might. I mean, she's a sociable dragon. She might have something else going on. Powerful guests, that sort of thing. And surely you would not want to intrude while she's in the meeting with even more powerful people who could jump down to help her.
I wouldn't want to walk up to her at all.
Well, then it's going to be very hard to free this woman.
It might not be. You don't know that she's gonna be down there in the basement. She might just rely on her guards.
Technically, she could be in the Tower of the Blue or anywhere else, really.
Well, yeah. But she might just rely on the guards to do her. Yeah.
What we know is that no one else has been able to escape this alive, going with a hostile attitude or whatever attitude they might have. And these
Yes.
are people who can turn into wall spiders or flies. That's damn well better sneaking than I can ever do. I saw him
Unless, of course, the enemy is looking
turn
for wolf
into a
spiders
little
and flies.
bird and fly over magical traps and spiked hits and the like.
Yes, but our enemies.
Flapping wings. I mean, this is...
Those
They're
of you who did that
specialized in hunting druids.
well. They're expecting people to be
Right,
turning
so
into
they're
animals.
probably going to notice something that is a lot more noisy than druids.
Yes, but they might have protections up that specifically target druids.
But it's not that difficult to stop us. I mean, you need a door. That's pretty much what you need.
We can't get through a door. Is that what you're saying?
We can't get silently through a door. That's what I'm saying.
Can Tempus sort of break in through a door?
I have never seen us silently get through a door.
Tempus has certainly made his attempts in the past to bypass doors with some success.
Usually Tempest is able to get through the door, either or that or he doesn't. Usually the rest of the party is not the most stealthy of members, though.
The few times you have got stealthily through a door, it is then spontaneously exploded, such as with ice.
I can ask you this. How well did we handle that rowboat?
We didn't get caught.
And how well has diplomacy worked in the past for you guys?
Technically, that's a W for the rowboat. Hold up the victory sign, you'll be good.
You know, last time I talked to Chuuk, I get access to magic I could only have dreamed of before. I recovered an artifact and the legacy of my kind in this entire city.
And it cost you nothing?
Pretty much. It's a token of goodwill.
I very much doubt that.
Well, I'm sure if you met another paladin of your order, you would be able to aid each other without too much pay. Aiding people who fight
Are you
your
saying you're
enemies.
from the same order as this dragon?
No, but we have similar opponents. Strengthening me is strengthening her own position. What do the rest of you think? Looks the rest have been amazingly quiet.
As satisfying as it would be to, perhaps in the best case scenario, catch Chuuk unaware and kill her, the smart approach to this solution is what gives us the most benefit in the long run. Gaining the aid of the druid in our fight against the 3 or the 4, I suppose, would be very beneficial indeed. And if that could be accomplished without more likely than not dying to a dragon, that would be preferable. And even if the diplomacy does not go as planned, it is unlikely that it will fail to the point where Dwohurim would get attacked, considering that he seems to think that he has reasonable relationships with the dragon. I do think, however, that the gift you mentioned, Dwohurim, the sign of goodwill, is maybe more than just that. It does seem very likely that the dragon is building these good relationships with you to get you to do something in the future.
Well, seems like the time has come for her to ask for whatever it was. If she wanted us to perhaps in the future approach her peacefully rather than violently, well, as it turns out, she's certainly got that. And if that's the case, then it seems like she's very willing to do diplomacy.
She might also be looking for whatever solution gives her the most benefit,
Oh, most
meaning
likely.
that she might make use of your what's the word here? Your intent on opposing the free. It should be relatively known by now, and if she, through some job or another, could deliver you to the blue or the black fang,
Yes.
it could be a threat that you do not see coming.
Perhaps.
She might just say that, no, I'm not giving you your my captive. And if you don't do this for me, then I will kill you right now.
Perhaps.
I do, however, still agree that it might be the best approach.
Leon?
I really do not think that going in, as I said before, to a dragon and being surrounded on all sides by her defences is the wisest of ideas.
Doing that no matter what. What do you think we should do it peacefully or violently? Well, not at all, I suppose.
We are doing this. Backing down is not an option.
No.
Yes, the question is how.
I know. We've been arguing about this for the last 5-10 minutes.
Yes, and what's your opinion?
I've already made it clear that I'd rather just smash the doors down, but I think you have to go for the other option.
Tempus?
Am I really the deciding factor here? Again?
Well, I'd rather not have it so, but hopefully what I've seen of you in the past. You've always
Diplomacy
been
has never
social
been
butterfly.
something. Diplomacy has never been something that we have succeeded at. If you are legitimately willing to try that, again, and knowing our skills and our successes in the past, well, let's put it this way. Even if we failed at the boat, I still would have tried our chances at the boat than us talking our way into the victories of someone. However, there is every possibility that we might succeed somehow. The chances of that, though, well, do we really, really, really want more enemies in this world?
I mean, this entire city is trying to kill us already.
The three are already our enemies, and she is one of their allies.
Not
That is very
necessarily.
No.
She would likely have done the same. You could say the same last time you visited her, but that was a very amenable affair.
However, what do we have to gain from killing her? Or barging in and doing all this massacring of everyone? What do we have to gain?
We don't have to kill her specifically, but I mean, if we did, that would mean one less ally for the three.
Or more.
You think she would get more allies by this
Her
one dying?
family might be motivated to aid the three further against us if we kill Chuuk. Chuuk has not really shown herself to be a strong ally of the three. She enjoys that a dragon rules the city, that is true, just as a human would enjoy that a human ruled a city, or that the dwarves enjoy that their realm is ruled by a dwarf king, and not a human king. However, as she likes how things go here, is more of an enemy of the druids than a supporter of the three. Which is why I have something in common with her, I suppose. The Draco druids, the blue users, I imagine, are no more her allies than these druids, although she certainly has a particular dislike for Therral. Besides, if we could do this peacefully, we would also not make enemies of more green dragons. I'm sure that you would understand, from your unique perspective on this, that these long-lived beings might have the perspective to go not after us, but after those we care for. Besides, I am trying to. I think that the path with the least violence is often the better one.
If we're sure it's not gonna lead to any violence, then yes.
I mean, probably will, but probably, hopefully, not something that might endanger the entirety of the realm. The Chuuk is not our enemy here. Taking her out will only risk our lives, thereby our mission, which it doesn't seem like anyone else is really ready to step up to, of, well, saving the realm from the Four. I remind you that that's the main objective here. If we die there, we can't do that. Killing Chuuk will not advance that at all. It's not our fight to fight.
And we don't have a third option, do we?
No, we need this person if we want Therral to be our ally.
Yes,
why
but a
we're
third
here.
way to get her.
We can either talk and trade. We can break in and get her. I don't know. I don't know what the third way would be.
Perhaps a different entrance, something like that.
Find someone who can resurrect her once she's dead and her remains have been eaten. I don't think that's really a thing that you can do.
No. But there might be another way to get in there.
Regardless, it still has to be fight or not. What do you mean being completely stealthy and not be seen at all, going in and out? Because I don't think that's possible.
No, but there might be a way we could fight our way in there with less risk or something like that. We might find out that she wants something specifically very badly, and we might get that for her.
Rated for her, yeah. That would be a good idea, I think. If there's something we know she wants, then we can get it for her, then that would be...
Yeah,
Exactly
and this
the kind of
goblin
thing I
might
would-
know of such a thing.
Maybe this goblin would know of such a thing, yes. If that's the case, then that would be wonderful.
Yes. So I think we should talk to this goblin first.
Alright, yeah, I can agree to that. Sure. We can see if that will change the opinion of anyone. We still have a few hours to sort of sit around.
Yeah.
Could go back to...
All right, sheep. As Aurelia, as you are walking towards the goblin market, why don't you inform the group about, this goblin? As tell us some information, like how long's it been since you've seen him, like where does he stay, like what's he up to, like, or what was he up to when you last spoke with him? Give us some information. He's someone you just created.
Well, it has been quite some years since I've last spoken to him, as I have been transferred out of Drakkenhall and to Concord in my business with the Black Fang. He was a person who I used to gain information for my various tasks I have done in Drakkenhall. I was, still am I suppose, quite competitive at the time, trying to be as efficient and productive as possible, making sure that everything was better done by me than the others, trying to make a name for myself, as it were. And one of the ways that I got an edge on the others was to obtain information that the others might not have been able to obtain. This goblin, Jaxel as his name, was one of my sources. As a merchant, he might not be the most successful of people, but he certainly has ways, quite uncanny ways at that, to acquire other less material things. He is perhaps reliable in the sense that his information has often proven to be useful. However, it might be not exactly safe to contact him. If his usefulness has spread to creatures other than me, then it might very well be the case that he is working for someone else who we would rather not know what we intend to do.